Hello and welcome to another episode of the Women Can Do Show. I am your host, Rochelle Sawyer Cobb, and I have with me the amazing Aqueelah Brown. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Rochelle.
I am excited, of course, just about the topic. But first of all, I want to wish everyone a happy Wednesday evening now, Wednesday night or evening, wherever you are. I hope that you all have had a wonderful week thus far. I pray that you took that pause today to kind of reboot, refresh, refuel, and get ready to finish the week strong. So let's get into it. Our topic for today is self love advocacy for women and girls. And so, just to give you, let you know who Aqueelah is, she is the founder of Know Your Worth Girls Inc. I love that name. And that's a 501c3 organization offering membership programs and opportunities primarily for at risk girls, teaching them how to know their worth. So, before we get into all of that, just briefly tell us outside of the organization and everything, who is Aqueelah?
Who is Aqueelah? So Aqueelah Brown is from Uptown, Philadelphia, right? Born to Burnett Delbridge. And I am just, I don't know, I'm just an advocate of really tapping into who I am, right? I have a passion of giving back to young girls,
Yeah.
especially in Philly, because where I came from, I didn't have those positive outlets or things to be able to lean on
Yeah.
to keep myself active as a young child. So growing up being raised by my grandma, she passed away when I was 12 years old. So
Wow.
I had to do a lot of independency, right? I had to
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
through a lot of struggles and things to get to where I am today. So I am a woman of resilience. I am a
Mm.
woman of strength. Yeah, and I'm just a woman of passion, just in
Yeah.
general. So yeah.
I love it, and I love what you do because I think that it's important that, like you said, you didn't have that, these outlets growing up. So I think, and I press this issue, I think it's so important for us to bring forth the next generation. I think it's important for us to create those spaces for them. Just because we didn't have them doesn't mean that we can't offer that to someone else, right? So with that being said, tell us what inspired you to start your organization.
So I think just growing up, simply not understanding like who I was as a person, it took
Hmm.
for me to go through a lot of struggles and me being a victim of sexual abuse and
Wow.
many other things. Like I said, losing my grandma at a young age and,
Yeah.
um, you know, just all of that. Like I just really felt like I wanted to give back on a different capacity, right? I
Yeah.
have two young daughters that I birthed with two additional bonus babies and a bonus son, right?
Yeah.
So I think that just really tapping into wanting to be that mom that I never had growing up. I wanted to
Mm.
do something different and offer them a lifestyle that was beyond obtainable. I don't know. I just wanted to give them everything that I didn't have. So
Yeah. Yeah.
starting an organization, not understanding who I was, even with being in other relationships that kind of like I want to say I didn't know who I was. I didn't have self identity, right? So
Mm.
me being able to grow through the struggles and really finding out who I was by tapping into that self care and that self love really inspired me to want to teach young girls how to do that themselves.
And so what is your mission of the organization, and then what does it encompass?
So it's simple. It's just enhancing the quality lives of at-risk girls, just in
Yeah.
general. So if that means I have to teach them how to build self-esteem, if I have to teach them entrepreneurship, if I have to
Mm,
teach them mindset development, um, that's really my go-to as far as the organization. Like, we allow them to endeavor in like community service outings to be able to give back, because a lot of our young girls, they don't know how to indulge in
yeah.
thinking about other people and having that compassion. So being
Yeah.
able to have the platform to do so, and teaching them life skills, right? Because
Yeah.
that's what it's about. Being able to teach them things that they've never done before, and most importantly, teaching them how to identify their strengths and weaknesses. A lot of
Yeah.
people have to be able to go through that phase to be able to set goals and be successful in life. So I think that that's really something that really speaks to my heart. And I
Yeah.
just want to be able to just, teach them how to build resilience in the face of tragedy, period.
Yeah. And I just want to point out to our viewers, she's doing the work right now. Like, she's literally at a retreat for these girls. And I think that is so awesome that you get to come on and talk about this on location, right? In the midst of you serving, because again, you're there, you're serving those girls, but then you also get a chance to come on here and share with others, because there's a lot of people that I think want to do something and don't know where to start, right? They want to help bring the next generation forward. They want to help empower girls, the next generation, and don't know where to start. So I just love that you are on location. And this is, if you just share with us, if you can, like, what, this is one of the programs, right, that you offer.
Absolutely. So every year we offer a youth summit retreat to our young ladies that are enrolled in our programs, right? So we have two programs. We have a mentorship program called Black Girls in Sync, and we
Mm,
have a mental health and wellness / career readiness program called Hopish Works, right? And the
wow.
thing is, we teach them a lot of different skills within a program where we actually get to allow them to simulate those skills at our youth summit retreat every year. So we're doing the time management, right? We're doing the
Wow.
leadership skills. We're teaching them how to cook. We're teaching them how to be responsible. We're teaching them how to bond as sisters, conflict
Mm, that's
resolution.
important.
I think
Hmm.
it's very important because
Very important.
a lot of women just in
Yeah.
general don't know how to be in the same space as
Yep.
others. So if I'm
Yep.
able to have 20 girls come together for
Yeah.
5 days to be able to exercise those skills, um, that's what we're all about. So
Yeah.
a lot of team building, we do it all.
Wow. That's amazing. And I love that you're teaching them about sisterhood, because that's where they need to learn it. We need to learn that when we're younger, and you know what I mean. So I love that that is a part of what you're doing. And it's like everything that you're doing is just teaching them to be a well-rounded person. Like, everything you just mentioned is key to being a good, well-rounded person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So how do you define self-love, and why is that important? Because we know that a lot of times lack of it is the cause of a lot of trauma. You know what I mean? So how would you define self-love?
So I define self love by simply tapping into getting to know who you are, right? A
Mm-hmm.
lot of us don't know, again, the strengths that we possess, our
Yeah.
interests, the things that we like, because we're so consumed of taking care of everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So when it comes to being able to just self reflect, right, and be able to work on yourself, I'm one of those type of people where it's like I could do something and it's like, okay, I'm doing it, but you know what? Let me self-reflect to make sure that I'm doing it in a correct way. So the next
Ah,
go around, we
Uh-huh.
got it down packed. So being able to take accountability,
Mm.
knowing the things that you
The
do,
big
and
A,
sometimes,
accountability.
yeah, because we're not perfect, right? But
Right,
as
right.
long as you're able to identify
Yeah,
those things and just continuously work on it, I think that's a part of self-love, and just, being
yeah,
one with yourself,
yeah,
and setting that time to do that, because we work, we have kids, we're moms, we're wives. Like, I've been married for 13 years, so that balance, but
yeah,
I still have to have my self identity of who I
yeah.
am as a person,
That's
and that's
right.
very important.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what do you think are the biggest barriers that women and girls face when it comes to practicing self-love? Like what's stopping them?
I think it's the lack of education, right? I
Mm,
think that
mhm,
sometimes we don't have the information of knowing how to tap into ourselves, right?
mm,
So I had to learn that simply by giving up a relationship where I felt like I was honoring that person over myself at one
mm.
point, where it was like I was looking at them like they were God. And
Wow.
when I had to take my shahada to become Muslim, and
Yeah.
it stated that I had to put God first, I questioned myself like, oh my God, I have to put God first before this man that I love? I don't know
Wow.
how to do that. But
Yeah.
once I realized afterwards, like, no, that's not right. I need to be able to have that self identity to know who I am, because I
Yeah.
can't live for anybody else. I have to live for myself. So I think that that barrier is just really having that lack of education, of just sitting with yourself and being able to just identify, like, okay, you know what? This is what I need to do to tap into this, or even picking up a book or doing some type of research.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah.
think that having that education is very important.
Yeah, yeah. And if people can identify have different variations of what self-love is. And you're right. I think that many aren't educated, don't really know in depth like what that is at the core. Like that's on the like, some but like we talk about self-care. Some people think of self-care as, hey, I'm gonna get my nails done. I'm gonna go get my feet done.
Hmm.
That's like a temporary for me. I can do without that. You know what I
No,
mean? I'm not
absolutely.
that girl that I have to have that because it doesn't like make me feel good. For me it's, and I have to learn that too. It's what's on the inside. Like how are you nurturing your soul? What are you pouring into your psyche that's going into your heart? You know what I mean? That's really, and self-care and self-love go hand in hand. If you love yourself, then you'll, be more attentive to really care for yourself, mind, body, and soul.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think confidence plays a big key in that, right? Because you have to
Hmm.
learn how to gain that confidence. And that's just
Hmm.
simply tapping into not really caring about what other people think,
There you
and
go.
just
Yeah.
focusing on you. And it
Yeah.
took me a while to get there, but I can honestly say this point in my life, listen, I'm authentically myself. So I
Come
don't care
on.
about what anybody says. I'm
Come
gonna be
on.
me. I don't have to fit in. I'm not a
Yeah.
follower, and I'm a
Yeah.
leader, and I'm gonna continue to do that. So I think that once people can see that for themselves, that they will be successful, and they'll be able to withhold that confidence.
Yeah. 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 So what do you how can women and girls build a stronger sense of self-worth, like that isn't tied to, because most of the time it's tied to external validation, seeking validation uh from someone else, or to be appreciated, by someone else, or by your, some people define themselves by their degrees, um but you can have a degree and still, again, I go back to on the inside and be just messed up on the inside. So what are ways that they can build, their self-worth?
So I would say definitely having a mindset to want to do it, because you have
Mm-hmm.
to want to learn new things. You
Yeah.
have to learn to be more open-minded. It
Yeah.
took for me to go to therapy to really
Yep.
utilize the tools and the
Mm.
strategies to be able to cope with my trauma that I had, to be
Yeah.
comfortable in the skin that I am today. So I think that if they could really, just tap into just
Tap in.
identifying and yeah, because if you can't identify or just be able to, you know what, affirmations every day, like
Yeah.
literally on my mirror, like
Speaking
I'm
it. Yeah.
literally, you have to, even
Yeah.
here at the retreat, we have an affirmation booth where every morning the young girls get to wake up, get dressed, and go into this booth and just speak highly of themselves. And once you keep hearing
Mm.
it, then you'll believe it. So I
I
think
believe it.
just being able to empower yourself without seeking that validation is definitely the ultimate trick of being able to, you know, be
Yeah.
that person.
Yeah. So what advice would you give like to mothers or mentors trying to teach their young girl about self-love and self-acceptance? Like, because you can have, let's say a girl can have a mentor, right? Um, but what about her mom? She has to go home to her mom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of times the mom, if the mother's in the home, the mom needs the tool. I know that was so. Just to give you a little background, I started the organization. So we're a women empowerment organization. So the show is one of the tools that we use to support our mission. So in the beginning, I wanted to do a mentoring program for young girls. And so I kind of sat on it, and I'm like, wait a minute. The girl, if I'm empowering this girl, she has to go home to her mom who is not empowered and not inspired and not motivated. So I'm like, okay, I think I should probably start there and empower women. So I'm saying I have to say, what advice would you give that mom that she sees that her daughter is struggling with self-love, and acceptance?
So I'm very big on being able to allow our youth to have a voice, right? And I think
Yeah.
that sometimes as parents,
Mm,
we talk at our kids opposed to
mm.
listening to what it is that they need, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
in our program, we created a parent committee where
Okay.
we engage the parents to be involved in the young ladies' lives
Oh,
so that
wow.
they can
Okay.
be able to look at them and say, you know what,
I
my
like
mom
that.
is here. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like,
I like
I
that.
look up to her in that capacity because she's showing me support in something that I'm doing. So I
Wow.
think that constantly teaching them effective communication, right? Um,
Mhm.
healthy relationship building, like that's what it's about. Because I feel like a lot, like I wasn't able to go to my mom and talk to her about anything
Yeah.
growing up. You know, it was be quiet, shut up, do what I tell you to
Mhm.
do. And it's like, nah, I need my babies to be able to come to me. Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. What's your
Yeah.
concern? What are you
Mhm.
struggling with? Because I can't help you if you can't tell me what it is that you need. So I
Yeah.
need you to be comfortable without any judgment. Like, just be open-minded. I'll let you speak. I'll give you the floor. And then we come up with a solution on how to be able to, attack that. So just being able to, allow them to have a voice and
Yeah.
be involved. A lot of parents aren't involved nowadays. They allow social media to raise their kids. They don't even know their kids' favorite colors. And I'm just throwing that out
Wow.
there,
Yeah.
or a lot of girls, they complain like my mom doesn't listen. I feel like I can't talk to them, but my encouragement is no. Listen, you can talk to your mom. It ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
How you
So
say
if
it?
I'm teaching you, how to have effective communication, I want you to
Mhm.
utilize those tools from your strategy toolbox, which we give them to be able to tap in and, just practice. And it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. And again, as a parent, as the mom, like you said, my advice to a mother would be open to receive whatever they have to say, without being offended, without being defensive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Yeah. Because I think that as long as they're respectful, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay to hear them out. They're human beings just like us. A lot of us just look at them like, oh, they're just kids. No, they're human.
Mm,
They have
yeah.
feelings. We have to respect them and their
And
boundaries
acknowledge
as
their feelings.
well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. A lot of people and a lot of parents don't know how to understand that their kids have boundaries. They have to be respected too. So I
Yeah.
think that if they allow them to have that space and that safe space with them, opposed to just bringing them to our program where we're only teaching them for a few hours, we need them to
Right.
work
That's
with
what.
us
Yeah.
and be on the same page.
Yeah. 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 But like I said, that was in the beginning, that was my thought. I'm like, wait a minute. If this girl is, you like you said, you're spending only so many hours, and then she has to go home with her mom, who is, not at, no fault to her, you know what I mean, who didn't have that. So she's not empowered. She's not,
Mhm.
motivated. But I love that you have the parenting piece, to include them. I think that is so powerful.
Absolutely. I feel like it takes a village to raise,
Yeah.
a child. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it does.
No, it
So
does.
back in the day, I remember when, Aunt Jackie across the street, could be able to talk to us about something, or Uncle Charlie
Yeah.
Rob from down the block was
Yeah.
able to discipline us respectfully, and we
Yeah.
listened and we
Yeah.
follow suit. Nowadays, parents, no, you can't discipline my kid. Listen, so how are
Yeah.
we to be a village? So listen, I keep it real
Mm.
with my parents and my kids at the same time. We
Mhm.
have to work together as a
Yeah.
team, because that's the
Yeah.
only
Yeah.
way that we're going to be able to affect our kids and their growth.
Yeah. I love how you have this program set up. I mean, that is so, like, I've never heard that before, where you have that parenting, that piece, for the parent, because they do need to be included. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of things that, as a mom, if you don't know what you don't know, right?
Yeah.
If you didn't have it, you don't know it.
Yeah.
So they need tools as well.
Yeah, and I always encourage them to communicate. Like
Mhm.
sometimes, so what we do is we have like two separate group chats. We have a text message group chat that goes out to the parents, but then the
Okay.
girls have a group chat as well. So we make them hold themselves accountable to communicate purposely, right? So that
Okay.
they can, just be one with each other, because sometimes, we need y'all to come together so everybody's on the same page. So a
Yeah.
lot of people don't understand that mechanism, but it's for a reason.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just accountability. Sometimes, we need y'all to talk. A lot of parents don't listen, and I want them to be able to listen more.
Yeah. So how does I mean, is that working? You know what I mean? Are you, like, do you have like a success story where that has completely worked, where you have the daughter there in your program, and then you have the parenting piece where you're basically bridging the gap. Um so have you had that happen where you have successfully seen from point A to Z that it was
Yes.
bridged? Like, I can imagine that has to be a road for you.
No, absolutely. So I remember when one of the young girls was struggling with just some mental health issues, and
Mhm.
just suicide and things of that nature, right? And she didn't feel comfortable with being able to talk to her mom. One of the things
Mhm.
was her mom was a trigger. So um she went through the program, and once we were able to really teach her the tools of how to be able to effectively like communicate with her on a
Mhm.
different level respectfully, right? I remember she came back because she had went into a facility to help her cope with those skills, and she came back and she's like, you know what, Miss Aqueelah, I'm so happy that you taught me these things, because I was able to really go back and tell my mom, everything that I needed to say to her in that moment. And now she
Wow.
listens. She listens to me. And when I tell you, this young lady, she just graduated. She's going to the Air Force. She's just
Wow.
doing amazing things. And she
Yeah.
has the most like amazing relationship with her mom right now. So those
Yeah.
are the success stories that I want to, that I care about. I don't care
Mm,
about anything else. That's why I
right.
do the work, to be able
Yeah.
to get that feedback, to know that that baby got
Mm,
everything that she needed in that moment to
mm,
persevere to her highest extent. So that's the joy that I get. And it's a passion of mine to be able to just do the work that I do. It's not
yeah.
about money. It's not about, exposure. It's not about anything
Mm-hmm.
else. It's about my babies. And
Yeah.
anybody knows that Miss Aqueelah don't play about her babies. I don't care if
Yeah.
you mommy. We gonna have a
Yeah.
conversation, mom.
Right.
I just had and not to even listen, I just had a conversation with one mom, right? A young lady
Uh-huh.
had a conflict at the retreat. And it wasn't nothing major, but she called her mom. We allowed them to do check-ins with their phones. And she
Yeah.
called her mom and she says, she wants to go home. So her mom got on the phone and she's like, you know what? I think I'm going to send, someone up there to come get her because she's complaining about this. I said, so was she complaining about if she was hurt? Was she not fed? Did anybody disrespect her? Did she feel bullied? And the mom said no. So I said, okay, mom. So what I need you to do is I need you as a parent to be able to trust the fact that you included her into my program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that it's okay to conflict resolute and not just pull them out anytime you come
Yeah.
into a struggle. Because if we continue to just run away
Wow.
from our
Yeah.
problems, it's
Yeah.
like now you're teaching your baby how to do that. We know
Yeah.
mommy is going to be go-to. She going to ride or die. But at the
Mm-hmm.
end of the day, if you have a problem, you can't always run. So how do we conflict resolute and figure out the situation? Do you
Yeah.
know we had mommy on the phone? We brought baby girl in the room. We had like 2 more mentees in the room. We resolved everything within an hour. Baby girl
Mm,
is upstairs right now having so much fun with all of the
yeah.
girls. She's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm so
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what it's about.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's the success stories that I live by.
Wow. I love that. I love that. And I love that the baby used her tools.
Absolutely. From her
The
strategy
first story
toolbox.
you told, the baby used her, you gave her the toolbox and she used her tools.
Absolutely.
Because there are some adults that don't use the tools, but this baby used her tools. That is
Yep.
powerful.
Yes, she definitely did.
Wow. Wow. So, how can we create a world where self love is a foundational lesson for girls at a young age?
A foundational. So I think that it all goes back to allowing them to identify who they are by digging
Yeah.
into knowing what their strengths and interests are. I think if
Hmm.
we can be able to start there first and foremost,
Yeah.
like everything else will fall in line. Because if you don't know who you are and the things that you're capable of doing, then you have no guidance of where to go. So I
Yeah.
think that if we can start there, if everybody can just start there, I
Hmm.
promise you the world will be a better place. My
Yeah.
babies
Yeah.
will be flourished, period.
And I love that you mentioned about their strengths and interests because it, to be honest, like a lot, like you said, some parents don't even know all of their kids' interests or their strength. And when you notice it, highlight it. You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely.
don't just make their world just this one path when they have so many strengths, so many gifts, so many talents.
And being able to explore that too, because even
Yeah.
if you don't know or feel like you don't have any strengths, let's be open-minded to try new things, right?
Try
A
new
lot of
things.
people are so stuck into the norm and patterns that they're so used to, and
Mm,
they get deteriorated when it's like,
mm,
you know what, you got to change the system up, shake it
yeah.
up,
Pick it up.
switch it up. It's okay, pivot. it's okay to try
It's
new
okay to
things, but
pivot.
they won't know how to do that if we're not empowering them to do so. So
Yeah.
instead of just, giving up, no, allow them to tap into different things and then let them decide what it is that they love the most.
Yeah. So what is the one thing that you wish every woman or girl knew about self-love?
The one thing I would say, it's so peaceful. It's so amazing. It's so, I don't even know how to describe it. I want them to
Free,
know that, yes, like
freeing,
literally, it is
literally.
really, no,
It's
seriously, because
that's the
if
one
you
word like that's my way to describe it. Like
yeah,
it's so freeing.
because you don't have to be anybody but yourself
But yourself.
and just have, yeah, you just loving on you. I love me wholly, so
Yeah.
can't nobody tell me nothing about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, to be okay with you flawed and all. Like I had a conversation with someone the other day, and I was kind of trying to build this person up. And so I told her, I said, let me tell you this about me. I said, in my mind, I'm that girl, flawed and all, like
Yep,
including all of my imperfections. I'm that girl.
absolutely.
And you need to be that. I told her, like, you're that girl. I don't care, like whatever kind of imperfections you have, whether it's on the inside or externally, you got to know that you're that girl.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I love that because being that girl, uh, it consists of a lot of self awareness. And
Yeah.
I think that I don't know. I love the fact of being able to not be perfect, right? Because it's not
Hmm.
about perfection.
Yep.
Like you said, we're not perfect. We're human. We're going to
Yeah.
make mistakes. But as long as you can sit in that and
Yeah.
understand that and still move forward and persevere, you're that girl. So
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
believe that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah. So, what would you like your ultimate impact? And I ask every guest this, who, it, what they do is affecting someone else, who, the work that they're doing is affecting someone else. What would you like your ultimate impact to be on the lives of your babies?
So the ultimate impact would for them to authentically be themselves and love themselves wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
I just want them to be, I can't even explain it, exquisite,
Yeah.
successful, just whoever they want to be. And it's like, I just need them to tap into that. So I
Yeah.
need them to be the greatest.
Mm.
I'm teaching these babies how to be great. Like,
Yes.
I want them to be great in anything. And I
And
need them to know that they can do anything that they set their mind to. It's no limit to the sky. It's
yeah.
so beyond that.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
want them to walk away with understanding that I am that and I can be whatever it is that I want to be, period.
Yeah. And stand in it. Stand in that.
Stand in it. Absolutely.
Stand tall in that. I love it. Oh my gosh, because I read about your organization. I love everything that you're doing. And I love how you have pulled all the components together. Like, I mean, it is so amazing how you have it structured. And again, I love the fact that you are on site at this retreat.
Yeah. Listen, I
Doing
just
the
told my
work.
babies. I said, I'll be right back. I have to do it. I need
Yeah.
all quiet. I said, I wish I
Yeah.
could tap you guys in, but next time it's okay.
Right. Yeah. Oh, I would have loved it. I would have loved to have them.
Yeah.
I would have loved that.
Yeah.
But so how can people can you share your website, and how can people um if they want to help out, volunteer, whatever with your organization, or if someone knows a young girl in, your area or whatever that is in need of an organization like yours, how can you just share your information, website?
So Our website is knowyourworthgirlsinc.org. They can always go on there and inquire about our programs. And even if they would like to support our programs as well, as far as funding, they can always tap in there. We do have our Beyond Worth Gala coming up, right?
Yeah.
So it's our 6-year anniversary this year. And we are very excited to share. So what we're doing is we're having our gala, but it's a celebration of impact, right? And it's about the growth of the young ladies that have, done the amazing work, to get to where they are. But
Yeah.
it's also for our supporters, right? Everybody that has helped and contributed and built
Yeah.
us, in a capacity of just being there, from,
Yeah.
community partners, whether it's corporate businesses, whether it's, just the moms, the parents in general. We want to celebrate together. So this is our biggest fundraiser of the year, and we
Yeah.
would love for everyone to, come through and support our girls and see what they're about. We've been working on our Hopish Works program, right? It's a paid work experience
Okay.
that they've been doing. So they're actually getting paid to do some work, and they have a project that they are actually going to be presenting at the gala. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
definitely looking forward to them showing you what they've got. Like
Yeah.
my baby's been working.
Yeah. And where can they find the information about the gala?
So, okay, you can find it on my website, but you can also follow us on Instagram at KYW Girls Inc.
Okay. Okay. And then you're in Philadelphia.
Yes, Philadelphia,
Okay.
PA. We do have a site in West Philadelphia as well. So definitely, if you have any girls that's looking to enroll, they can always tap into enrolling through our website or through our link tree that's located in our bio at KYW Girls Inc.
Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on to the Women Can Do show. What you are doing is absolutely amazing.
I
You
appreciate
are
it.
making an impact, and I love those two success stories that you shared. I mean, that is so um powerful, and I know that, as for someone who serves others, that's the reward in it, that's the rose in it, just seeing that this person that you poured into flourish. So I think that is so amazing. I love everything that you're doing with the organization. I have a heart for girls, young girls
I know
too.
that's right.
So that's why this is just I am just intrigued by everything that you're doing. So thank you on behalf of the world, okay, for all that you're doing to pour into our girls, to empower them, to give them the tools that they need, and to see that the baby is using the tools. She got the toolbox and she's using the tools. I mean, that is amazing. That right there is proof that it's working. That is proof that
Absolutely.
it's working. So again, thank you for all that you do. I want to thank you for coming on to the show. It has been amazing to sit and chat with you. And to all of our viewers, I want to thank you for tuning in, for taking time out of your Wednesday evening to tune in. My hope is that you were informed, empowered, and led to be transformed. And again, to my generation, let's just remember to do what we can to bring our girls forward, to empower our young girls, to bring them, push them into their greatness, and allow them to stand in it unapologetically. All right. So again, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the Women Can Do show. I wish you all a blessed rest of your week. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.